Is Drake hip hop?
Drake is pop to me. Like, a lot of his music is compatible with shopping. Or it's,
Commercial music,
shopping with an edge. This is great. This is a new Drake. You hear it? It's great. Woo! So many products. Look at all these SKUs. I love this mall. I mean, look at this place. They have everything.
He meant it in the fashion of, I don't really fuck with this. Like, this is not hip hop. This is not the rap in the Bronx, on the corner, bebop, niggas, goddamn, spinning on their head with the cardboard under them. Hip hop that I know.
Zip. It's not
right.
That shit.
No, there ain't none of that shit.
It started out in the park, you know.
Right.
It's a red flag.
All right, should I introduce this motherfucker?
I mean, if you think now's a good time, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a good lead in other than what we just talked about on the live, which is Alvin, you missed it. Actually, probably should have been there so you could have gave some more sound advice.
Yeah. All right, I don't know if I think we told old girl to fuck the dude and take the job. I think is what we ended up saying.
and then just dip out when it's not good.
Yeah, that was my advice. Fuck that nigga, get a good job.
Yo,
get the fuck out on
woman, we are all here for women empowerment, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
If that's what you want to do,
think like a man. That's what I would do. So give it a go. Steve Harvey type beat. We missed a potato head with it. I don't know.
Yeah. So welcome everybody to Waving a Red Flag, the #1 dating relationship and safe consensual workplace ergonomics podcast in the universe. We're still working on other dimensions and dimensions unknown, you know what I'm saying? But we are the #1 in the known universe. So it's your boy, Josh. It's Eddie. It's Alvin. You know what I'm saying? Bring you all the greatest and latest hot takes that you might like, love, or hate. We don't fucking know.
We'll see. Calling getting dick and or pussy ergonomics is actually brilliant. I like that. It's very comfortable. It's good. Lots of lumbar support.
Absolutely. That's how it should be. That's how you know.
I agree.
That's how you know it's consensual. Like you're in a safe space. Mos Def says Drake is pop. I think this is a very open and shut case from my standpoint.
Same.
He is correct.
Ooh.
He is
What?
right.
Ooh. He is correct.
There's nothing wrong with being pop. There's nothing wrong with being
about
pop.
Drake.
What does pop mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I agree. So
I know I agree.
Yeah. So
I
him
disagree.
saying that is I think accurate because hip hop can be pop. Pop is just like whatever's popular.
He meant it to be exclusionary.
Oh, I think he did. I think he did.
He absolutely. He was like, y'all. He meant it in the fashion of, I don't really fuck with this. Like, this is not hip hop. This is not the rap in the Bronx, on the corner, bebop, niggas, goddamn, spinning on their head with the cardboard under them. Hip hop that I know.
Zip. It's not. It's
Right.
not that shit.
No, there ain't none of that shit.
It started out in the park, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I love YASIIN. He's great. Like, but there's a terrible fucking take, and it comes across super haterish because it's like, one, I think he's actually just factually wrong. Like, it was shade to say, hey, Drake makes different music than previously we did when I was making mathematics or whatever. Like, cool, yes, of course. But two, yeah, music changes. But to say that he's like target edgy shopping music is just factually fucking incorrect. Like, don't get me wrong, probably like 25 to maybe 40% of his catalog you could play at Target. You know what I mean?
One dance kind of stuff, but it's also like this motherfucker also made fucking 5 a.m. He made 5 a.m. in Toronto, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's fucking spitting. Like, Quentin Miller's pen don't run out of ink, nigga.
Quentin Miller's pen don't run out of ink, nigga. The perfect bar for whenever you need it, nigga.
Legitimately, man.
Nah, man.
Is that a world tour or your girls tour? You know, that shit was fucking classic.
Quentin Miller ain't worked with Drake since '93, bro. Like, ever since they caught wind of that shit, Quentin Miller was out the OVO
getting bodied by a singing nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit's
that wasn't Quentin Miller.
The right bar for the right time.
That wasn't Quentin Miller.
Sun Tzu type shit.
Now that we got down Drake, one of like the mixtape that brought Drake to like, yo, nigga, this is what we've been waiting for. If you're reading this, is too late. Quentin Miller pen was 50.
An underrated project, actually. Like an extremely underrated project.
Like that's the one that niggas talk about. You know what I'm saying?
But it's still underrated. You're saying it should be rated even more highly than that.
Yeah. Like that will like if you look at like lists of like where people are saying like Drake's best projects, like it won't be top 3.
Oh, that's fair.
And I think it might be.
Yeah, for me, for sure, absolutely. What if I showed up to your house? That's all. Oh no. What if I picked you up from your house?
Yeah, Madonna. Yeah, that's my shit.
Yeah, Energy. Madonna. Dripped up.
10 bands.
Yeah. Ooh, bruh. What's that goddamn call my label? What a check, ho. Yeah, I said it, bitch. Bro, it's been a whole fucking.
And this is not Target music.
80% of the
it's not Target music. It's not Target.
What are we talking about? You're saying like you're out of your fucking mind, like.
Well, I mean, he does have Target music tracks. We're just talking about.
He does have some Target music.
A lot of them, a fair bit of them. It
doesn't cross 50%. It doesn't cross. 50.
It doesn't cross 50. Yeah. I would agree with that. It doesn't cross 50%.
You could put on a beat.
Now, what are we mad at? Now, are we saying we're mad at somebody for doing stuff? Because we're gonna be mad at Ice Cube for doing, the Family Robinsons or whatever.
Johnson Family Vacation and shit.
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? Yeah. Are we gonna be mad at? Like, no. Drake has done stuff that allows more fucking mainstream appeal. So much of his shit is 100% street. Now, whether or not you want to say that's like his legitimate identity, that's a whole other argument. But the music itself, come on.
Man, this is a lot of singing though, bro. I wish
I could. Even the singing be like about some shit that's not Target music. Like
but yeah, I think he just said that just to be like super shady. But the undertone of that is you're not hip hop. You make music for you're sentimental, emotional. Like you make music for bitches, type shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really what he was getting at because he does. Because I mean, even me listening to Drake, I'm like, man, like this dance, pop, reggae, whatever genre of music he's borrowing from. I'm like, this isn't really for me. I would really like to hear more of a bar, like rapping, melodic rapping Drake. If this is too late, kind of whatever. And I get a couple songs on those albums, but a lot of it just like
So I agree with y'all, but I do think that Drake is a pop artist. I think that pop crossover hits can be rap hits too. I don't think that innately there's anything wrong with that. And I think Mos Def, to you guys' point, was trying to make something that shouldn't be something that we automatically disparage Drake for, something that like we disparage him for. I also think it's hilarious for Mos Def to say that, and Mos Def is a great rapper. I think at the height of his ability, he's phenomenal. But Mos Def has put out some pretty fucking shitty albums. Let's be honest.
And he's also very he's made himself a very friendly, consumable, black person in his career as well.
His acting 100% flies in the face.
Hitchhiker's Guide. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
Exactly. So he's doing the same thing. He wanted to be marketable. he wanted to be marketable. So he should understand Drake's. It seems like a lot of people that take that route, it seems like they're mad that Drake did what they wanted to do better than they did.
That's what it seems like.
Than they could have ever done.
Bitter, Come on, man.
It seems like some Elliott Wilson.
No one's ever mad at Kanye for that kind of thing. Or are they? Because I feel like Kanye has had a level, he's like kind of second to Drake. I think he's kind of maintained that like artist.
Yeah. Kind of I think that's the distinction between Kanye and Drake is that Drake does it on some more Hollywood consumerism, widely appeal kind of stuff with the tracks that he seeks to do that with. Kanye does it for more like I want to be an artist. I want to be a creative. I want to be an Andy Warhol and like Bernard Arnault kind of situation. Like he doesn't try to be on target, commercials.
I don't know, bro. That's insane because Kanye don't. I don't know if Kanye even fucking right anymore. And if
he don't. And he don't even produce no more. You seen Ryan Fest? Like, bro, like, you remember when Ryan Fest said that shit? Ryan Fest called him out and was like, Kanye probably ain't touched a board in like 10, 15 years.
Bro, like,
that's real art. That's a real art.
God. Yeah, that's Warhol, baby. You know what I'm saying? Mass produced.
That's why they called it the factory, bro. Like, come on, man.
Nah. Because for one, I was a big fan of Mos Def. Like Umi says, even though like once again, like when I try to listen to a Mos Def complete project, I don't think it ever like really it never like popped out to me. But like the songs that I have heard that I like, I fucking love.
Black on Both Sides was a classic, man. Black on Both Sides is a classic.
Black on Both Sides, facts.
The aesthetic was fine. The aesthetic was fine.
Cool. But you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of songs that most of them got that I fucking love. Taxi. If y'all don't know that song, go look up Mos Def Taxi, Cream of the World or some shit like that. Anyway, when he was with Creative Control, whatever. But yeah, I do believe that, like, on some old head shit too, like you might have missed the boat, missed the point of understanding like where this artist was taking the rap music and the rap genre from where it was before and pushing the envelope, elevating the game more so. Because Drake introduced a lot of melody into rap and made it a lot more female friendly. Whether you want to call him safe, soft or what the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drake brought like a softer touch to the rap game. And it
Which
needed
is wild
it.
because it's still like wildly, homophobic or like toxic or whatever. But it's like, oh, but this is nice. It's friendly in a way.
Yeah, but you also get like the hard shit, like that hard club shit. Like when you goddamn, you might want to goddamn pull a caper or two with the Scooby Doo music playing, listen to some Drake music every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
He's definitely got some very, some songs that are rougher neck kind of feelings.
Yeah.
Legitimate.
I wouldn't say he has too many rougher.
Maybe not. I would say I give him 10%,
but
I give him 10% legitimately.
Yeah, I would say 10% is fair. But I would say my big thing with Drake is that I think he embodies the introspection of what rap was for a lot of people too, right? So it was about telling your story in a way that was creative, in a way that kind of let people into what you were thinking in your world. And I think Drake did that really well. And I think that's why his early stuff resonated with so many people that were in that same kind of place in life, like the Marvin's Room era. Like a lot of people listen to that and were like, oh, I can fucking relate to being in that situation. So I don't think anything that he's done has ever been blatantly anti-hip-hop. I think you can very much track the way his careers went, and it fits neatly into the boxes that hip-hop has always had, other than like the very early stuff, which was very activism, protest heavy. I don't think, I don't even think that's what rap is in its entirety anymore, even though there's still those elements of it. But Drake's a rapper, man. Drake's a hip-hop artist.
Yeah.
That can also be a pop artist, though.
Drake is a hip hop artist. That is a pop artist too, I think.
Because what is I think I don't even, because is pop's not a genre, is it?
It is.
I've heard people argue that. Yeah, I've heard people say both sides. I've heard people say, yeah, pop is a genre and it has certain types of elements to it. It has certain types of.
And does Drake have those elements? Because I don't think that
his songs does. Some of his songs at 1,000. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm hearing R&B. I think so. I'm hearing rap, but I'm not hearing things that I would think of as like pop.
Yeah.
Like what? Like what are the songs that sound like? Because when I think of pop, I think of like
One Dance.
One Dance.
Yeah, Controller.
I can hear that hotline controller. I can hear that hotline bling. That can only mean one thing. You used to call me on my cell phone.
And Hotline Bling does sound like Target music. I'm just gonna give it.
Late night when you need that love. Like, bro, dead ass. Like,
I give you that. That's got pop elements. Yeah.
But I agree with Alvin. Like, ain't nothing wrong with being pop at the same time too, because like that just means some motherfucker can cross over. Like, if you highly marketable and you can be highly successful, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if he wrote them bars or not. That was a hot ass goddamn song. When that shit came on, when I was outside in these streets, boy, you better believe. Late night when you need my nigga.
Oh man,
bruh,
that was I remember where I was when that shit came out.
Inspired a whole goddamn Erykah Badu album, nigga. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, put some respect on it, man. Come on.
Absolutely, shit. If nothing else,
love your fits. You got great beard, fantastic.
Absolutely,
come on, man. Great ties and shoes.
Great things, man. Great things.
Beautiful gowns.
WIZ Khalifa and his remarks around like, not Planned Parenthood, but just co-parenting. I think that was like a very interesting dynamic.
Man, I think that there should be some limitations on that.
Well,
like,
do you have the video pulled? Can you pull the video up?
I can. Hold on, I can.
Okay. Alvin, have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it. And I already knew that Eddie was gonna jump in with his insecurity, and then we're gonna have the whole conversation about how you should have insecurity in your relationship, and monogamous relationships are always about insecurity.
I might be jumping in with mine too a little bit.
And then I'm gonna say that insecurity is not a healthy emotion, even though it's a human emotion. And then we're gonna talk about how we applaud Wiz Khalifa for being an active father.
Oh, stop! Stop it! You're doing the whole thing.
This nigga's a weirdo, bro.
This motherfucker goddamn saying my points, edit points.
He in a Marvel movie like, let me guess, the bad guy's gonna do some bad stuff.
Right.
The good guy's gonna do some good stuff in the same
There's
day.
gonna be some jokes or some comedy here that'll get you a good chuckle every now and then.
After credit scene.
Captain America's gonna come out battered and bruised, but on top.
Because he can do this all day. This nigga is the limpest of limp noodles. Nigga was born and he was like, oh, let me guess. I'm gonna grow through puberty, get a job, have a marriage, then die. Why even bother living, bro?
I would never say that shit because I'm not planning on dying. But
oh, true.
Not no time soon.
Point taken.
Nobody knows the end.
Yo, Alvin for real gonna be part of the goddamn the Legion of Doom at some point. He's gonna live too long to where he's gonna see himself become the villain. Dead ass.
What you mean see himself become the villain? He been Lex Luthor since the beginning of this podcast. He started
Nah, because his heart's still too fucking good. Like the things that he's doing is not making big enough ripples to where it's like villainous. Like it's just Bernie Sanders, you know what I'm saying, back in 2008. You know what I mean?
Every villain is the hero of their own story. Lex Luthor is trying to save the world. If you read any comic book with Lex Luthor, he's trying to save the world.
I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about that one.
Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time. A Legion of Doom.
Super duper open about the boundaries that me and Amber have. I think it's probably difficult for anybody that she deals with too, because we're so vocal about the love that we have for each other. And
I really wish she would do something with that mustache.
And she's powerful in what she does. So it's like a little bit of intimidation there. They're gonna be like, oh, you'll always go back to him, or he can call you right now and you'll just go running. And that might or might not be the case, but if she's focused on you at the time, that's not the conversations that y'all need to be having. Same thing for me, where it's like, I'm not gonna mistreat her.
Y'all don't think that might or might not be the case isn't wild? But all right.
To make any woman feel better. So if you expect me to, badmouth her or keep a conversation short with her or not, laugh when I'm on the phone with her, just simple shit.
That nigga think about like, private jokes already.
Problem, because I'm gonna be good to her, and that's just something that, not that you're just gonna have to accept, but you're gonna have to really enjoy that. You're gonna have to want that for me. You know what I mean? That's gonna have to make you happy too. And it might be hard, it might be difficult. I understand that you feel like this and you could think these things, but it's up to me to, put that confidence back there.
Yeah.
All right. You, Eddie, you did you want to go first?
I was about to say my lines. Yeah. So,
yeah, go ahead. We are video essayists.
Yeah, indeed. The deniggification of parental rights under capitalism, a video essay by E.D. Overgold. I mostly agree with what he's saying, but there needs to be some limits. Like, if you have a connection to someone that is romantic and you have a current relationship with somebody that's monogamous, your job is to make it as clear as possible through action that you have no intention of leaving them. Because this motherfucker Wiz in the goddamn clip says, they think, oh, if he calls, you'll come running, and if she calls, you'll leave me for them. And then he says, now that may or may not be the case, therefore. That invalidates any back and forth about what this conversation is invalidated right there. Because he's basically just said, hey, you're right. I might up and leave you for her. And that's just part of what it is. Get the fuck out of my face.
I think, so I don't think you're wrong for judging him on what he actually said. I think the only thing that we can do in those situations is take his word for what it was. But I do think there's some subtext there. Again, this is a live open forum conversation, and the way I would interpret that, with the knowledge that people don't necessarily say explicitly what they mean when they're talking about stuff in the moment. Like we all fuck that shit up like constantly. Again, I say it all the time. This isn't scripted, even though I just read the script on some NFL Sunday type shit. But the way I would interpret that, given a little bit of grace and leeway, would be we don't know what could happen in our relationship. Maybe we will end up back together. We do still have a relationship. We are still cordial. I do think that it's a little bit callous and cold to just kind of say that to somebody if you're in a committed relationship. But I think that in the context of that interview, that's just a fact. If they're still cool, it's no bad blood. Like, yeah, they could end up back together. I could. There's a non-zero chance that I could fucking end up with Beyonce tomorrow. Like, there's some
subtext. Talk your shit,
there's some subtext tomorrow. There's subtext there. So I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong, Eddie, because you're gonna come at me like I'm saying that you're wrong, and I want to be very clear that I tried to go through painstaking stuff to say that I think you're right.
You're wrong, even in the level of nuance that you gave. I still disagree.
But I'm giving them some grace, because I would like in that moment. I think that's a very like legitimate statement.
You can give grace and say that what you said was wrong and stupid. Like, hey, look, you probably.
I think that's what I'm trying. I think that's what I'm trying to do. I think like again, like you're trying to start an argument when I'm going through painstaking steps to not start one.
You keep thinking you're going through painstaking.
Trying to get you to Keith Lee, my nigga.
Yeah, but I mean, before we move too far away from this, you said ED Overgold. Do you have a middle name?
Oh shit, does he? Erectile dysfunction Overgold?
Yeah.
Yo, this nigga really.
I can't tell you what the D stands for, but.
Erectile dyslexia.
Erectile disaster.
It's gonna be some
destruction.
It's gonna be some dumb shit. It's gonna be some, WIZI F baby, and the F is for phenomenal type shit. But
ED.
D is for these nuts, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I was just gonna say I speak my piece. Like, I think that's a beautiful co-parenting situation, because what he's essentially describing is still maintaining like a very strong friendship between him and the mother of his child. That's a beautiful fucking thing. Now, the reality of it, when I hear it, is, and like you're gonna have to be happy for me when you see me in my friendship with the mother of my child.
Come on.
I couldn't realistically expect
just a little too long.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when I'm not gonna cut my conversation short with her. Like when I'm laughing with her, yo, that's a lot, because I ain't gonna hold you like on some surface level shit. On some surface level shit. And I do mean this. Y'all should just get back together on some surface level shit. But that does not necessarily mean that y'all are meant to be together as romantic partners, like, because clearly it didn't work out, but clearly it's just not going to work out between y'all where y'all at right now. But it is a beautiful thing to be able to co-parent with the mother of your child while still pursuing and being in other relationships. Now, I do think it's a tall ask to ask of someone else, to ask of your new significant other, to be able to cope with that and be happy about it in that sense.
But
in the way that he was describing,
as a grown adult, that is what you have to do. But it's a thing that you both worked. Like, this shit ain't even complicated. And I know maybe I'm like overly barnacle in either direction with this shit. But it's like, look, your job as the father of the child and the partner to this new woman is to go, look, we're co-parenting. We have a close relationship. Our relationship will exist for as long as these children exist and both of us are alive. That's what it is. So we're going to be friendly, da-da-da-da. My job is to make it as clear as possible in my action and the way I conduct myself that, one, we are not romantically involved at all and will not be, and that I am romantically involved with you. Now, as the new, partner / step-parent or whatever, if you're the mother, stepfather, whatever, your job is to support that shit. They're not gonna the parent to these kids is not going away no time soon. They're gonna be a part of that person's life, and that's just what happens when you date as an adult and you're dating somebody who has kids. The baby mama or the baby father is just going to be a part of their lives, and you have to be able to deal with that, and that's how you make that healthy thing work. It's tough on both sides. That's just what you do. And Wiz is kind of like 85% right, but 15% he's fucking up in his like duty to his new partner.
I think he's fucking up in how he's expressing himself. I don't think he's fucking up in his duty to his partner.
We have no idea. Yeah. Like we're always guessing based off what people say. And like to go back to a thing that you said before, I'm like, when you're listening to what people say and trying to extrapolate behavior, and it's a thing that we all do because that's what you do when you're listening to language, is you go, well, what do they?
That's what language is for. That's what language is for.
So like based off what he said, he's fucking up. I don't know. I can't read minds. We don't know if Jonathan Majors is fucking up or Simone Biles.
Yeah, we're talking about people talking. So
yeah, so like to that point, we are extrapolating his behavior, and I think that that's what you can't do. I think that if I'm gonna say that he's fucking up somewhere, it's actually a lot more proximal to what's going on to say that, yeah, man, he's fucking up with what he's saying, then he's fucking up with his behavior. We can 100% hear that what he's saying may not 100% be in the best interest of his particular relationship based on interpretations like the one that you're expressing. We have not seen his behavior. So that's kind of what I'm getting at when I say that live form content, words get mangled, people say stuff. I can interpret that as I have explained as like he's saying like, oh yeah, maybe we could, like, who knows what the future holds is kind of how I'm interpreting that. So I think that interpreting something in the base level as he's fucking up his words is actually easier to say than he's fucking up his relationship via action.
I don't think he's fucking up his words at all. I think he's saying exactly
which is a fair interpretation. Like, and I want to be clear, that's a fair interpretation.
Yeah.
He's describing behavior. He's like, I'm not going to do this. I am going to do this. Like, who are we supposed to believe about his behavior?
He did in that moment. He didn't say that. He said that may or may not be the case. That's like, who knows?
But
he literally said it may or may not be the case. He didn't say I'm doing this. He said he didn't say I'm going back. He said
I'm not going to cut her off from this conversation.
Yeah. Like I don't think that's a bad part. I don't think that's not unreasonable. Yeah. I think the only bad part that we're talking about is that 1 second where he's saying that may or may not be the case is what your whole argument was.
That was directly in reference to Amber Rose, not himself, because he put himself like, hey, she might come back to me because I know that there's but like he didn't say like, oh yeah, I could go back to her. But like the thing is like he was like, I'm not going to disrespect her in any way, shape, or form just to appease you to make you feel more comfortable. So
I agree.
The thing is, and if that's legit what their relationship is, I don't see that as fucking up. I just see that as, hey, me and the mother of my child or the father of my child, we are not together. We have been married, we got divorced, but we co-parent phenomenally together. I love them. I will always have a love for them in my heart that you can't really touch because that's not something that you can do. That's fine. That's what I'm looking for in you. That's cool. But to put that on someone else into a new situation, that is extremely intimidating, can be extremely uncomfortable, and that could be a lot to ask of someone who is not extremely mature, comfortable, and confident within them own selves to be with said person, especially of that status.
Yeah, true. I would still say, and I'll shut up about it after this one, but I would say the worst thing that he said was definitely that could be the case. To be fair, that was edited in, which is to your point. Like they kind of cut up what he was saying, so that could be a misspeaking. But assuming that what he is saying he would say to his partner is what he would say to his partner, I'm looking at that as if it's behavior and being like, I'm not going to cut the conversation short, or I'm not going to like not have our laughs or not have our jokes. On the surface, that's fine, but reading into it, I'm like, you should probably, never disrespect or never create a situation where you're like not giving support. But there are ways of like being friendly with your now platonic co-parent that I think should start to be curbed as you're trying to build another monogamous romantic relationship. You don't laugh quite as long. You don't linger quite as long. You don't have as many drinks together. That's shit that you should do. So it depends on where he's putting that line, and it seems like he's describing the lack of a line, that like he's not going, hey, look, I'm not going to go past this point. He doesn't put that in place, which is a thing I'd be looking for.
I've seen him talk about the relationship they have in reference to their son before a couple times, and they genuinely do have a strong and solid friendship after their relationship, like
with the boundary on it, or
with just their relationship, like with each other, like post marriage. So it's like, nah, we ain't fucking with we're not fucking each other, but we do still actually have a strong friendship, because why would we want to be like so mean, cruel, and ugly to each other, like in front of our child, and not? And he basically framed it as, look, we need to get over our differences. Like whatever didn't work between me and you, it's like we got to get over that.
It is what it is.
And then be like a united front for our child that we had together. And then in that lens, they were actually able to move forward and still be friends, which, of course, again, is extremely uncomfortable can be extremely uncomfortable for the new person coming into either one of their relationships. Because I, for one, would damn sure be uncomfortable. I ain't ready for it, baby. I couldn't do it.
I can do it, but and maybe you were just making a new point. Because maybe I had my face fucked up because I was like, what does that have to do with what the fuck I said? But maybe you're just making a new point. My view is like, all of those things are great for y'all's relationship and the baby that y'all are raising together. Cool. This is a conversation about your romantic relationship with your now partner or wife. And it's not about how good y'all goddamn relationship is. It's where's the line between that and our relationship now. And if I don't see answers to that question of here's what I won't do with the parent of my child, we don't have a relationship. So
yeah, and I think that's fine. I think the issue that I have is in a broader conversation. I feel like you dislocated your shoulder a bit with a reach, where he's like, I'm not going to cut my conversation short, and I'm not going to laugh, and you're like,
I'm reading between the lines.
Well, are you motherfuckers going to have drinks at the fucking W after this? Like, I'm like, what the fuck, like.
Yeah.
They could be talking. They could be talking about Sebastian, and him playing basketball or some shit, and being like, "Oh, the motherfucker like bricked this shot by a country mile," and they're like, "Ah." Like that's how I interpreted that, and you're like, "Oh my god, these motherfuckers are meeting up at the hotel after this, platonically."
I don't know, but like I would just say, if there is a line that he just didn't express, because all of that video was about the things, and it's just a clip, so we don't know what the larger conversation is. All that video was about the things that he is not willing to do for his partner. So I'm going off that. Maybe there's a bunch of things he is willing to do for his partner that just weren't in the video. I don't know. So what I'm saying is, to the extent that those things aren't there, that's a shortcoming. If they are there, then cool, and we can have a conversation about what they should be, because maybe he has those things. Or maybe anybody listening is like, okay, cool, I'm in this situation. What things should I be doing to reassure my current partner of the strength of our growing relationship? So that's all.
Yeah, which I think is a fair conversation, but it just gets to the point where intuitive leap after intuitive leap on either side of this conversation, because I'm not saying I've been immune to this even in this clip of the conversation, but a more productive conversation would be like what that looks like, because I do agree that for the sake of both of their partners, there probably needs to be some conversation. And I think he actually in that very short clip hinted at that. Like that y'all should have that conversation. What was his phrasing?
I can play it again.
It was something to the effect of like, if you feel like that's a problem, that's a conversation that y'all need to have amongst yourselves or something to that effect. I'm like, I know I'm butchering that, but he kind of hinted at that very early on in that clip. Like that's a conversation that them two need to have, and like me, Wiz Khalifa, I'm over here like co-parenting and shit and doing what's best for my son.
Yeah, no, I think I mostly agree with that. And I think, so like, for instance, things that I would think are like, because that's what's difficult. Like, how do you exactly have this conversation? Because you don't want to have to, you can kind of talk about like, hey, look, y'all shouldn't be hanging out together if the kids aren't around. And I don't know what the rules would be. Because I'm like, when it comes to flirting is so fucking subjective. I don't fucking know. Y'all, you laughed at his joke that was funny. The joke was funny. I laughed too. I don't know where the line is there. And then hanging out just y'all two, it's like, well, we are co-parents. We got to plan and talk about the fucking kid's future and shit like that. So what would be appropriate boundaries? Like, what do you say to if I'm his wife and I'm saying to him, hey, look, XYZ that you do with Amber Rose, you need to curtail it in the following ways, or like what things, are legitimate for me to ask to make myself more comfortable in that situation.
I mean, shit, even on top of that, like, where is it okay to be insecure in that? Where's the line? Like you said, like,
I mean,
yeah.
From my perspective, I think that is one of those things that you kind of got to play by feel, because I think it's a slippery slope, right? If you're trying to police that too hard and not having some level of trust for your partner to do that, like, you know, are you gonna put strict regulations on how cool she is with her? Yeah, with her male coworkers. You know, with her male friends, like you're gonna have like they can only be around when I'm around kind of situation. I think it gets very slippery, and I think at some point you have to trust your partner. So from my perspective with stuff like that, I'm like, if they're gonna cheat, they're gonna cheat, right? Like I don't necessarily want y'all to be like you know, there's a clear line on what that means, right? There's a clear line on trusting your partner and have respect for your partner. Yes, I think that line should exist. Yes, I think that most normal people in relationships know what that is. But like anything above and beyond like the standard, you're a woman moving out in the world, not fucking other niggas, I don't necessarily think that you need to do anything other than that, because you're gonna have close like male relationships with other people, and I don't think that this one should be.
Do you have any specific idea of what that specifically looks like? Because I think we all kind of agree that, like, you know, don't do fuck shit, do good stuff, like, which is kind of what all that boils down to. But I'm just wondering, like, when you're in a relationship, it's like, yo, are y'all like, okay, are you about? It's very hard to talk about this stuff specifically. You can kind of reduce everything down to like, oh, it's all just nuanced.
So no, but nothing, you know? Okay, so let me phrase it like this, and I got a question for both of y'all in this respect. How would you expect your girl to move around like her male friends or her male coworkers?
Depends if she's fucked them before.
Let's say she has a male friend that she's fucked. How would you expect her to move around them?
Distantly, yeah.
Not at all.
That mean, I mean,
move to the other side of town.
Let me like we need to get some more secure niggas in the chat. But like there's likely going to be a situation at some point where like your girl is.
Depends how long
it's friends.
Like
yeah.
Oh my god.
Like,
I've been there.
It's friends with somebody that she's fucked.
I've been there.
You've probably dated somebody who's in close contact with somebody that she's fucked. They're probably fine. They're probably doing all this stuff. Like your girl is probably walking around not fucking men other than you all the time. So I think that there's some level of semblance between how they would move in those circumstances and how they would move in this circumstance with a co-parenting situation.
I think
which is why I phrased the question that way. Which is why I phrased the question.
I'm understanding like I maybe kind of disagree kind of from both ends. Like one, because women do go back and fuck people that they fucked before. I've seen that on every side of that.
They also don't do it.
True.
That don't take away from the. I mean,
no, but that's my point, right? That literally is my point.
People
right?
kill people. We have laws for murder. It don't matter how many people don't get murdered. Like,
my whole point is that your girl, like, if they want to cheat, like they're going to do that.
Want to cheat? You're going to cheat thing is nonsense. But let me address that in a second.
That's not. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be boundaries. I think that everything that I'm saying is being interpreted as like, oh, just like free for all this shit. But I'm saying like
that's what
your partner that you trust has a set of rules that y'all establish via their relationship, and I think those rules are the same no matter what type of situation that they're in. And I wouldn't put extra restrictions on that situation because I already trust my girl to move through that situation like she would. With me expecting her not to fucking cheat and fuck around if we're already in a monogamous relationship. I don't think it's extra. I think it's the same thing.
Okay,
that's my point.
I think I understand your point, and this is the bit that I disagree with from the other side, which is I think that the level of intimacy required to have a healthy co-parenting relationship is way higher than the level of intimacy needed for like, somebody in the same social circle, a friend, a coworker. So I would say it would have to be slightly different rules because I don't think I could healthily restrict my girl's relationship with the man who impregnated her the same way I would just a guy who fucked her in the friend circle. My expectations would be totally different because I just think she has to be free to give more to that relationship. So that I disagree on that side.
I mean, I feel you. Like I don't. Again, I can trust my girl to not fuck somebody that even if she's fucked them before.
Yeah,
but my history on that is significantly different.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Eddie's and I'm assuming Josh's, so I don't.
Man, we've stumbled upon this conversation before, like, because me and Eddie have more of a similar view of insecurity versus where you have spoken about insecurity in the past, where it's just like, no, straight up, insecurity is not a good feeling to have, period, point blank, period, versus it being more of a natural human emotion. that we all experience at some time, whether that human emotion be good or bad per se. With you, I feel like if I'm interpreting what you said correctly, it's like you have the mindset of, hey, if she gonna cheat, she gonna cheat. If she do cheat and I fucking find out, it's a wrap. I move on with my life. No harm, no foul, whatever. But for, I guess, other people, it's like, yo, hey, I understand that, yes, I do trust this person, but I gotta be real with myself too. It's like, I know you're still attracted to a hell. I can look at this motherfucker and be like, yo, that's an attractive motherfucker. He's charismatic, or she's charismatic, and I would be a little like myself, and I was like, hey, I trust my girl, but at the same time, I don't trust this person. I don't trust this person. Either. I mean, that's for me. I tell myself I trust it. I tell myself I trust it.
Thank you, because that's the root of the issue. That's the root of the issue. Stop fucking with women that you don't trust, Edward.
Man, bro, like that's
trust is not an intrinsic trait of a person. Trust is.
It's not. It's something that's earned. Yeah, and if that's my girl, then I got a certain level of trust for her.
Okay, no, yeah, I agree.
Trust but verify. Trust but verify, but I trust her.
So I trust my
trust but verify, not restrict.
Trust but verify.
I think the specifics of that are interesting, but I would say I trust to the extent that there is evidence for that trust and that evidence is continually presented. So yes, I trust my girl because in a healthy relationship, I'm I'm being given reasons to do so and am not being given reasons not to do so. That's all. That's how every relationship works. Like, I think it was Cam or somebody who said, like, I start off at -30. If you've earned my trust and we're up at a 0, or at a +10 or a +50, cool. Do what you got to do. Go out for a night at the club, blah, blah, blah. We've earned trust. But I've also said, look, I really don't want to know any goddamn way. If everything's good and you fucking your baby daddy, I don't want to know.
As long as I don't know.
Yeah, look, as long as you can provide the illusion, that's pretty much happiness. As much happiness as I can request.
Woo, I don't, man, bro. I pray to God you never have to go through that because you would. If I don't, you will turn. You will go red pill so goddamn fast.
Fuck all this bullshit.
Fuck all these bitches, bro.
We taking voting back, abortion rights.
And he go too hard one way or the other, bro.
I don't think he would. I don't think he would. I think he.
I've had my feelings hurt. I
say that tongue in cheek, but like he go hard like on some. Alvin, like you.
He just did it. I know exactly what you're saying. He just did it.
It's like, it's some shit that he really believe in, but this nigga's so good at talking, like he don't.
It's all consistent. It all fits together if you really listen to what I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. All that good shit. This nigga right here.
I'm not flip-flopping.
He's got.
You're not. I could do this podcast as Eddie D. Overgold. Like I could do this shit.
Yo, we got to do a podcast where we each are each other because I feel like
we don't tell nobody. We don't say the shit. We just come in and I'm Josh for the night.
We should. No, I would be Alvin. No.
You as Alvin.
I'll be Alvin.
Josh. Alvin is Eddie.
Ooh.
I think we could do that. I think
we could definitely do that. We should put that on the books.
Yeah.
We just don't.
Genuinely, I'm interested. Yeah.
We just don't mention it.
People gonna be like, Josh is double sexy. I like his brain and his beard.
And his beard. Oh my God. When did Josh get so attractive to me?
Yeah.
Nigga, they say that anyway. I hate this nigga. This nigga Josh. Swear to God.
No, they don't. No. Like
Alvin, even you acting like you don't do the exact same shit. Everybody get on this podcast and go, "No, I'm ugly, bro. Shut up. We all fine."
Nah, man. We all fine. Come through with a clique of bad niggas, bro.
Exactly. Let them know. Shit, we a collective 33.
Nah, man. They just, scale, you know what I'm saying? I'm like the pretty person that when they open their mouth, it's like, oh my God, you just like lost like 5 points. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, that is Eddie.
Yeah, facts. Bro, I've seen it. I've seen it happen where somebody's girl see me, she be like, "Oh, he's kind of artsy. I like the jewelry," and I say 2 sentences, and she like, "I think this nigga neurodivergent. What the fuck? This shit weird as hell."
Nah, man. Not on the podcast and social media, baby. This nigga. Yeah, he got it hemmed up. Goddamn, I've seen it with thine own eyes. Fuck. What was we talking about?
that I had gone so extreme as to say, like, look, I don't necessarily trust my girl. I was being hyperbolic, obviously, but the point there being that trust is an earned thing. It's not an intrinsic trait that because she's my girl, I therefore trust. And then I said, but if everything is happening in the relationship to where I feel reassured and safe and cared for and blah, 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 and she is fucking a nigga behind my back that I don't know, then I don't want to know, is what I said.
Oh,
and Josh said,
oh God, yeah, I do. I genuinely do pray that you never have to experience that. That's awful.
I bet. I'm sure I have already. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
have y'all been cheated on before?
I mean, it depends on what you consider to be cheating, but not super duper. Yeah, not super duper though.
You ain't been super duper cheated on before, nigga.
Super duper cheated on.
I mean, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I kind of do.
Like
open, Josh. Everything's a continuum.
Yeah.
I mean, she might have crammed for the test the day before. You know what I'm saying? But like, she wasn't looking at her phone during the test type shit. If that makes sense.
It don't.
Okay. I mean, did she cheat, or maybe she just misused the studying materials? I don't know what I'm saying.
She accidentally like fell on the dick and just like, oh my God, what am I doing here? How did I get here?
What's the deal with this dick in me?
What? I'm not getting. No, let me not say that. Trying to be fair. But I like it. I consent to this. Wow, before and after.
I consent to this.
I consent to it. Bubba Clyde. Oh no, okay. But for real though, like, so knowing your situation, yeah.
Yeah, I've been like, you could call it cheating in that, and I did at the time, which was that I was in like a non-monogamous situation. She kind of said, I don't want to see anybody else. I was like, cool. Then she did fuck somebody else. So I was like, that's in my head, that's cheating. So I broke up with her, in short version. But outside of that, there's been moments of, somebody being too friendly, or somebody bringing around somebody that, I know they have had the XYZ situation on, or like, even I know that they have cheated or cheated with someone before, and that situation is still around, but never like confirmed, I know something happened type situation. And I don't suspect too much. I mean, but again, I don't worry about it, Like, why am I looking for unhappiness? I'm good.
Oh my God, bruh. Okay, I want to hear your answer, Alvin.
Yeah, basically the same as Edwards.
So you was out here loose dick Alvin.
I mean, I didn't like I was more along the lines of like, I didn't have much reason to suspect and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it has that, maybe it hasn't, but I haven't had much reason to suspect it.
I think he was saying just the same as me in the second half of what I said.
Yeah.
The first half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But I mean, to be fair, the first half of that situation has 100% happened to me, but I 100% didn't consider that cheating.
Why not?
So what happened in those situations, or
it was one situation again, like we were non-monogamous, like, and I was young, like this was so long ago that this barely fucking, like, I think I might have been
barely counts.
20, maybe 19, but
young, wild, and free.
Yeah, so it was a situation where like this individual was my girl. We broke up. We were still doing stuff after that. In a situation where we both were, it was kind of a situationship kind of situation. She got with somebody else. I found out about it. She told me about it, in fact.
Beforehand or after the fact?
After the fact. During the like when we were not in a monogamous relationship, but when we were in the situationship.
So was there an agreement that you all wouldn't see? Like, was this a violation of anything, or it was just
No.
Then I wouldn't have considered that cheating either.
I didn't really consider it cheating. I do remember at one point gaslighting the fuck out of her because I remember not really feeling such.
I do remember. I had a little bit. I was like, damn, I gaslighted the shit out of her.
No, for and we're like, she's like around, but like we're not friendly like that. Like, I don't remember the last time I talked to her. Like, it's been years, but like I've never told her like, hey man, I was gaslighting the fuck out of you in that situation. I just kind of let that ride.
In what way did you gaslight her? Like, if I'm her, what did you say?
So it was very much like, oh, so you cheated on me?
We're on a break,
and I'm texting like 4 or 5 other like people.
Alvin got that. Alvin was
That's why he had to have that. He had to have that.
It was very much a gaslighty like situation.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's always the best niggas, bro.
I can't believe you would cheat on me, and then he takes a handful of Plan B and throws it out off the balcony like bird feed.
All for you, baby. I would never.
It's always the
I
best
would never.
niggas. There's
nobody.
Like there is nobody that would describe me as the best niggas when I was 19, 20, 21. I was a horrible person.
Fair. But
I was a genuinely horrible person in every aspect of what that meant. So like, nah.
Damn. Would you say genuinely horrible across like all of the like kind of areas of life?
Not all areas of life. I mean, like I was doing fine in school and shit.
Yeah.
Academically, I was phenomenal. Tried and true.
I was a horrible person, but you ain't never seen nothing less than an A+.
I've never cheated, never given an answer away. Always straight head down to the paper. All right, never
cheated
on a test, but I always cheat on a bitch.
I think I made Dean's List that semester. I think that was the Dean's List, like my first Dean's List semester. So I was doing fine.
Cheat on the That's it's like I'm sorry, that's hilarious. That nigga said I never cheat on a test, but I always cheat on a bitch. Goddamn.
I wasn't like cheating on anybody, but like it was definitely like gaslighty fuckboy type behavior in like situationships.
I'm gonna be that toxic nigga at this moment, but it's like it's fucked up. But just in experience, right? It seems like that's the type of niggas that's most successful in the dating game, in a sense. Like, playing the field. I mean, just the image of like, having girls, being with girls that seek after you, that know that you have other options. And it's like when they ask you about, it's like, nah, man, I ain't even like that. Like, yo, I'm really fucking with you tough though. Like, man, we and her ain't even kicking it like that. But motherfucker, you was in them guts, goddamn, just 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying? Gaslighting the fuck out of shorties. But, and I'm not saying that's the proper route to go. If you want to be a real man or a real nigga, that's what you should be doing. Because hey, I have never lived that life, never been that type of nigga. But. Oh man, but see, I'm lame, baby. I'm lame, baby. You know what I'm saying?
we met you from you fucking somebody in the crew, man. Come on,
nigga. Okay, you want to get into that? You want to get into
that? Put that shit out there in the streets. Like, whoa!
I just thought it was funny.
No, keep that shit in because you want to get into that. I had no idea.
This nigga said he had no idea. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god.
You really gonna gaslight us, bro? Come on now.
No, bro, no,
I had
man.
no idea. What does that even mean?
Because like the see, look, because like
I didn't know I was fucking, man. It just come that smooth sometimes. Sometimes I'm talking and I realize I'm in the pussy. I
just fell in. Goddamn. You know what I'm saying? No, cuz.
Okay.
Man, cause like you look at it. No,
this nigga has no defense. Bro.
No.
Bro, you the worst type of fuckboy, cause you're the type of fuckboy that don't believe he's a fuckboy.
Cap. No, because I'm trying to because you raised an implication that only at least at minimum only you know about. I know Alvin know it, but I don't know if you've been tracking this whole fucking story from the times we've told you about it.
Yes, I have, man.
All right, so, but yeah, there was an implication to when Eddie said that I immediately took offense to. Because this motherfucker accused me of being on some fuck shit when I was like, yo, nigga, I didn't even know, bro. Like,
true.
You know what I'm saying? I had no idea.
That level, of course. I didn't mean to imply that.
But yeah.
But like, you can't lie like you wasn't out here getting around. Like, come on.
Man, spurts, baby. It's all about, you know what I'm saying? It's quality, not quantity. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what it is. But what was
sounds like you're being very successful in the game.
It sounds like a success.
Sounds real successful over there.
What is success?
What's that? That's fucking conversation going full circle.
Why ask you good people what is success? What does it mean to be successful? Like, you know, I think that's really dependent upon the each and every single individual. Until you want to
breathe more, until you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
The timing of that was amazing, by the way. That was very good.
That's what we do. All right, man. Shit. I feel like we haven't like really like got anyway. What's the? Okay. All right. On some real shit. What did y'all feel like the older generation actually did right? And we can go into the video.
Is the clip good? Yeah, no, I'll put it up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta pee again.
Yeah. Go. This motherfucker might be pregnant.
Yo, like my body is going through all sorts of changes, baby.
Okay, congratulations, my brother.
Menopause.
Yeah, he in menopause.
Things that older generations of parents absolutely did right. I know we always get caught up in the boomers and other generations and what they did wrong with their parenting, but what are some things you think they did absolutely right and are things you will continue to do with your own children? Steady, strict meals and bedtimes and meals served together at the table. I keep seeing more and more people that kind of just eat whenever and don't make their children go to bed at a decent hour. I have a cousin that doesn't believe in schedules at all, and her 5 and 3-year-old typically go to bed between midnight and 3 a.m. where they just pass out wherever, on the couch, on the floor, etc. They'll eat dinner at 11 p.m. There's no real work schedule for this, and she's a stay-at-home mom. After all my time working in daycare as being an elementary school teacher and then having my own kids, it's my opinion that kids thrive with very predictable schedules and routines. I think older generations absolutely got that right. Down the sun, up with the sun, sit at the table for 3 square meals a day,
I feel that.
Morning, noon, and night.
Yeah, strong agree. I think it's a lot of stuff they did right. I was going to say, like, the biggest thing I think that they did right, which, I mean, because the implication seems to be that, like, the next generations aren't doing that, and I don't know. But the people in my circle, it's like they're maintaining most of that shit, but then they're just not taking along with it all the bad shit. That's been my personal experience. But I would say the things they did get right is, like, tradition. I think having traditions, you know what I mean? The Christmas or the, you know, Thanksgiving or whatever your religion is, whatever, just like having those moments where family comes together, or Easter, here's what we do, you're going to do this, and you're going to unwrap this, giving children something to look forward to and a structure to like exist in and excuses for connection and exchange.
That's real.
Perfect. Needed. We got to maintain that forever. Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I honestly, I'm a bit surprised that he was like, yo, nah, I actually agree that they actually did a lot of things right, because most of the time you're like, nah, man, fucking parents is evil, nigga. They're just being a parent. It's on some fuck shit, nigga. They don't do nothing right. You're not a father. You're not a mother. Like, you know, it was abuse. You know what I'm saying? I thought you was about to immediately be on that type of time.
You're cloning slaves
right.
for the pure purpose of your own enjoyment. You're trying to live through proxies.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no. I was, man, damn, when I heard that, when I thought about my own experience, and this is due to my own mental shortcomings, and I ain't even about to do my mom like that, but what I was set alone is like my mom did right is just being there for me, mentally and emotionally, especially emotionally. And I've never had a shortage of feeling love from my mom. And that's been big. And honestly, you know what I'm saying? On some real shit, like, ain't nobody ever like just unconditionally love me like my mom. You know what I mean? Like, that's, of course, yeah. But everybody don't have the same story, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So
some people don't even get that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like I could be a piece of shit. It's like my mom catch me on the worst fucking day ever. I'm short. I'm agitated. I'm irritated. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she just like, you just had a lot going on. Let's just see the best in me. Still like, God damn, you know what I mean?
Dude, I don't have nothing going on.
Yo, I ain't got shit going on. Like, I was just bad that day. But it's like, no, I still see the world of you. I still think the world of you. I still see the world in you, like, type shit.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, that's big. That's huge.
I'm with that. Yeah.
So generally, I will say that yes, children should have established bedtimes because children are nervous balls of energy and they'll just run themselves tired and they'll be off, and sleep is extremely important, especially during the formative years, like for brain development and all this kind of stuff. So yes, children should have bedtimes. Just talk about that directly. My actual mother and father, because I've spoke about it at length on here, like I would actually consider my maternal figures to be my sisters, but my actual like mother and my father probably made every mistake you could possibly make. And my sisters, in their youth cleaned up a lot of stuff, and my father's
right.
Worked really hard to make amends, but I was like formed by that point and molded. So but for my my biological mother, my actual mother, I would say the one thing that she did that I think people should continue to foster is she did do a pretty good job facilitating a love of learning and reading with me, which my sisters just built upon. The one thing my mother positive did was she never turned me down a book. Right. So if I show interest in a book at a store, no matter what that entails, she always bought it. She was very much instrumental in me getting early exposure and connection to my local library, which is something that I value quite consistently. So I think fostering that love of learning, and I think it's a lot easier today, man. Like all the kids fucking have Kindle apps and iPads and shit. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that we should continue to foster and develop. And again, it's a lot easier now than it used to be. I think I don't necessarily buy into the you all gotta sit at a table and eat kind of situation. I mean, shit be happening, man. Motherfuckers want to play video games and shit. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad to do it, but I don't think it's something that I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't think it's something that I would strictly enforce in my household the way I would strictly enforce like a bedtime.
I don't feel like you have to do it every night, but
yeah, like
more often than not.
I love like a Sunday dinner kind of situation, like some time to connect and all that kind of stuff. But like, if little progeny of Alvin wants to go sit in the living room and take their meal there, like I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. I feel that.
I think for me is be more like
no eating in the bedroom. Sorry. No eating in the bedroom.
Shit. I don't think I mind.
That was like
none of that.
That was definitely a fighting situation.
I had that luxury, when I became like teenage years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. True. But I would just say like, I think that all structure that you provide kids has exceptions. Like when I think about the eating dinner at the table thing, I'm like, I think that's mostly good because like somebody kind of said to me, like as a parent, what you're kind of doing is you're providing structure that your child will inevitably bump up against. If you provide no structure, then they're just sort of flailing. When it comes to the food shit, saying, hey, look, we as a family, this is how we operate. There's always a table for you to come to. I think that's the biggest benefit of this, of saying there is a solid structure that I have or we have maintained that you can always come to. We have the Thanksgiving, we have the Christmas, we have dinner at the table every single night. If you got you got band practice, you hate us now because you got, you're on this type of time, you want to see a girl, you want to see a boy, cool. Dinner's here, table's here, food's here. You know what I'm saying? When you're ready to come to it, I think just providing that structure is good. And early on being like kind of low key forcing it seems like the kind of thing that later on creates the relationship among a family that is difficult to build that after the fact. So I think it's a positive thing that should be greatly prioritized, or something like it. It doesn't have to be that specifically. Different families can do it differently. You might not eat together, but you garden together every week or something.
I have adult nephews now, which is crazy. Me and my two oldest nephews, had our first like legal drink together, like over.
Damn.
So I have adult nephews. So something that I've been trying to do, and we've been haphazard with the scheduling, is we all play like the same video game. So we sit down and we log in, we put in all the time. The older ones, at least, because I do also have very young nephews. But the older ones, we all play on the same team, Overwatch 2. So I do agree with you in concept that you got to do something. Like I'm not a hard disagree with like having structured meal times. I just know that for me, that would have annoyed the fuck out of me. So like, I also want to give the option of like, hey man, if you're not, to your point, like I want to provide the space for exception.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause that was
one thing more what I'm leaning toward.
Like the wake up and bedtimes is because I was like, I do think structure is important, but you can't force like a square child into a round peg or hole or whatever. And if you're like waking up your child too early or putting them in bed too late or vice versa, that's bad. So I think you kind of have to, and I don't know what the exact answer for this is, but I'm like, you kind of have to go, look, here's what your bedtime is, and I'm going to enforce it. But we want to pick what that bedtime is based on what actually is healthy for you, not just a structure that I've given. Because I feel like up with the sun and like down with it or whatever, like that shit isn't actually good for kids of a certain age. Yeah, for instance,
that don't make no goddamn sense. Like, I remember me and my older sister's bedtime was, my big sister is 3 years older than me, but we had like a similar bedtime of like 8 or 9 o'clock. And when we turned a certain age, it got increased to like 9, 10, like a couple years later, some shit like that. But it was like, no, it's important. It is important to have like a structure around, because like it also makes your life easier as a fucking parent.
True.
Especially a new parent, bro. Like, oh my God, I'm not a parent, but I got friends, homeboys that's parents. And look, let me tell you, women, y'all ain't the only ones that be struggling with this motherfucker, okay?
Stress.
Bro.
Stress.
But yeah, it's like, yo, I got these kids on the schedule. Life is life is a good bit easier now because I got these kids on the schedule. So I strongly agree with that. Like, it is important to have like some sort of schedule for your kids. It can be a little bit loose. And when it comes to like the whole like eating together type situation, when they young, I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They can, y'all get used to like eating together. But when they start getting old and shit, motherfuckers don't be hungry at the same time. Like, you want to give them a certain amount of freedom, but still have like these things that y'all do as a family and still just incorporate things that y'all do just as a family, have family time, whatever it may be.
Because that's important. And I think that like, as your children grow and develop their own personalities, you can kind of figure out what that is, right? So my older sister, who I think was a very strong surrogate parent, always did stuff with me to kind of like be together, right? Stuff that she didn't even necessarily want to do. So like I remember I was really into wrestling for a long time, and they would come to Atlanta and I didn't want to go by myself. So like she would always go with me. So we've been to like some very like notable like wrestling events together, like the SmackDown where like Brock Lesnar like slammed the Big Show and like the ring collapsed. We were there together. So she put herself in a position to kind of be a person that I wanted to be around. Like, she always fostered my love of like science and all that kind of stuff. And she would talk to me about things. And, to date, she's the most naturally intelligent person I know. So being a person that your kids want to be around can also help you make those situations a lot more organic, so you don't have to be as rigid and you can provide those lanes for exception. But I do agree with Eddie. I think Eddie articulated the point brilliantly, where you got to provide a table. Like, a table has to be there. And what that table is doesn't necessarily have to be a physical table, because I think my sister provided the table and it was never a place to sit. It was open dialogue and facilitating interest.
That's bars. That's poetry right there. She always provided the table, but it was never a place to sit.
That's good. Yeah, that you know what? That one almost flew over my head, and that is beautiful.
Oh, good.
And I tell you, that's the good brother Alvin, AB, just always just speaking. Whenever he opened his mouth, you gonna have some gems or two up in that motherfucker. Even if, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Basse Bon. Some shit. You know what I'm saying? So with that, so with that, good people, if your partner is kikiing and cacaing for 30 seconds too long with their partner of their child, man, you might be seeing a red flag. And if you know what I'm saying, if you just like not able to see the value of what the generation that came behind you brings to the table to move the culture forward, then it might be you that's waving the red flag. Good people, it's been Waving the Red Flag. It's your boy Josh. It's Eddie. It's Alvin. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. If you have not, and you can, you know what I'm saying, if you got a little extra look, you know what I'm saying, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon so you can get access to bonus material, bonus content, and there's going to be a lot more things coming in the future. Make sure that you subscribe to the membership channels on the Spotify. And good brother Eddie, am I missing anything?
Nah, man, just turn on that notification bell, so you know when we drop new stuff on YouTube. But yeah, join, become a member. You know what I mean? If you want that extra bonus content, because we drop 2 episodes every single week, so you're only getting half the content if you're not a member.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, baby, it's your boys.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
You're still calling me?
No, it's.
It's a red flag.